Assalamu alaikum. This is the Young Liar on YouTube, and on May 20th, somebody had decided that it would be Draw Muhammad Day, Draw the Prophet Muhammad Day, and as a Muslim, there's my friends on here, Semi Zatari and others who have suggested that we make video responses to this Draw Muhammad Day on the 20th. As a Muslim, all I really have to say is, if you're a non-Muslim and you have questions about Islam, then you can come to my YouTube site. It's Young Liars, YNGLIARS, and you can ask me questions, and I will respond to them in kind and tell you what what the Quran says, what Hadith say as far as my interpretation. I may have to go and ask some of the brothers at the masjid for a clear interpretation of Hadith, because you don't just get a book of Hadith and just start reading it and say, oh, I know what this means and I know what that means. It doesn't work that way. And hold on for a second. Hello? Hello? What's up? Huh? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. 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 Bye. Sorry about that. I had to get some eggs going for my little girl with my wife on the phone. But like I said, if you have questions about Islam, I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, as a Muslim. One thing though, however, that I would like to stress to people who are non-Muslims and who don't quite understand why it is that we're not allowed to have depictions of the Prophet Muhammad. First, I have to say, it's not that when you go to a mosque that there are pictures and statues of other prophets and we're just prohibited from the Prophet Muhammad. No, the idea behind this is to prevent idolatry, like what you find in Christianity and Catholicism. You have pictures and statues of prophets, of apostles, of the Virgin Mary and Jesus, the Son of Mary, peace and blessings be upon them. And people have begun to pray to these things, and these are man-made creations. And we only, whenever you become a Muslim, you perform what is called the Shahada, and it is the first pillar of Islam, which is profession of faith. And you say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. What that means is, I bear witness that there is only one God worthy of worship, and that is Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. And when you do that, you are proclaiming that the only deity, the only God worthy of worship is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not Muhammad, not Jesus, because we do not believe that Jesus is God. And so that's why we do not have depictions of the Prophet Muhammad, let alone any other prophet for that matter. Okay, so like I said, whenever you walk into a mosque, there's no depictions of Abraham, of Moses, of Noah, and these are all our prophets too, as Muslims. And so just so that you keep that in mind. And these are, and another thing is that we're not Christians and we're not Jews. Okay, so we're not, you have to understand that we're not going to turn the other cheek whenever you make fun of our prophet. You see, we stand up for our prophets, plural. We don't like it when you make fun of Jesus either. Just so that you know. We don't like it when you make fun of Moses or Noah or any of the other prophets. We don't like that either. We don't like it when you make fun of God Himself. We don't like that either. But as Muslims, that point of not depicting the Prophet Muhammad is primary. Is at the top of the list. I mean, it's not like every other prophet is listed down the line as varying degrees of how much we will tolerate. We really actually don't feel as though we should have to tolerate people making fun of any of our prophets. Okay, and as Muslims, all the prophets that are in the Torah and in the Injil, we view them as prophets in Islam. And so, but if you have any more questions and anything that that you're curious about, that you would like to know as far as Islam and why we Muslims do this or why we do that, feel free to come to my YouTube channel. It's Young Liars, YNGLIARS. You can come to my MySpace page, which is Peace Sign Movement, and just peace sign is one word, PEACESIGN Movement, MOVEMENT. Just leave me a message, make a video, ask me, why do we do this and why do we do that? It doesn't offend us whenever people are curious about, why we do things. What causes friction, what causes problems is when people do things that as Muslims we are, taught and instructed not to do. And that stuff is thrown in our, kind of just paraded in front of us. And then when some of our brothers and sisters react in a way that, may cast a negative light on us, then the media gets to jump on it, and, people around who get to see it, they get to jump on and say, oh, see there, that's why we, we should be afraid of, or we should hate, or we should, look at them suspiciously, is because of this one or two, or this one single group of Muslims reacted in a way that allows us to respond to them in the same negativity that they're responding to us, in us making fun of the Prophet Muhammad. Because essentially that's what this is. Essentially that's what this is. It's non-believers making fun of what Muslims believe, who we believe is a prophet of God. Okay, and we don't push these things on anyone. Okay, this is our practice. All we ask is that you respect our wishes and that you don't make depictions. It's not like it was the right thing to do for the guy the Danish cartoonist to lose his life, but it's another thing whenever you make not just a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad, but one that depicts him as someone who is a terrorist, because the Prophet Muhammad was not a terrorist. Okay, whenever you start to put things on the Prophet that aren't true, when you put words into his mouth, when you put words into the mouth of God, well then yeah, you're gonna make some Muslims mad. And you need to be aware of that. And so this is the the risk that you take. It's like, as me as a black person, everyone's free to say the N-word, but they must be willing to understand the consequences when they say that word around certain black people, because some black people, we've moved on from that, and it has no power over us anymore. We don't use the word, and we don't really care when other people use it around us, because we're better than that. But there are some brothers out there, some brothers and sisters who are out there who haven't figured out that to rise above that will anger the person who is saying the word more than responding in a negative manner and be able to, for them to be, you know, point the finger and say, ha ha, look at him, you know, he can't handle himself over a silly old word that means absolutely nothing. Okay, so you know, you have to, you have to take these things into consideration. I mean, we're all here, we all have our likes, we all have our dislikes, we all have our beliefs, and you know, just understand that. You know, that's what really needs to happen, is a lot of people need to understand that, you know, if you want to make fun of certain people, there are those people in that group of people who aren't going to stand for it. Okay, and you can't can't just generally throw everyone into the pot if, you know, one or two people get upset. This is Young Liar. Assalamu alaikum. I'll be waiting for your responses.